Konnichiwa mina, boku wa Jeremy desu. Yoroshiku onegaishimasu. Today is day 319, I believe it is. It is Saturday, November the 15th, 2014, and I just finished watching the latest episode of Sailor Moon Crystal, which was titled Moon. And boy, were we taken on a ride this time. This one has definitely deviated the most so far from the rest of them. We've had little bits and pieces here and there. At first, it didn't seem like it was going to deviate that much. And then, like, boom! We got the basic backstory of the Shittennou, which was not included in the original manga chapter, and it was fantastic. Fans of the series, of course, know that the Shittennou are Endymion's court, kind of like the four guardians, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, and Venus. And it was great because there was more delving of their backstory in Sailor Moon Another Story, the video game, rather than so much in the manga. So I'm glad that they're kind of doing it in this, and it's fantastic. So let's discuss the chapter, shall we? So of course, in the last episode, Usagi and all of their memories came flooding back, and Tuxedo Command got kidnapped by Kunzite and brought back to the Dark Kingdom. Of course, up until now in the manga, Jadeite, Nephrite, Zoisite are supposed to have been killed and turned into stone, and Kunzite's the last one left. But he went and followed Queen Beryl in the manga chapter and discovered what was going on, got his memory back. They didn't delve too much into it. Queen Beryl found out he got his memory back, and then she got control of him again. This time with the Shittennou, all four of them listening in, they got their memories back. It was a great sequence. Later on, Venus reminded all the girls about how they followed Serenity to the Earth the one time, and they fell in love with them, and they showed their respective ones. They also delved into it in the live-action series as well. So I'm glad to see that there's differences in all of the medias, sort of thing. The musicals as well also played with the romances. The latest, last year's, I should say, La Reconquista, really showcased the romance between Zoisite and Ami, Mercury. Which was nice to see as well. So, Sailor Mercury in Japan was the most popular character for the longest time, until Uranus and Neptune and Pluto and Saturn came into being. Anyway, I'm totally deviating. So anyway, they make the plan to go to the moon. Now, one of the things that I find really interesting between the manga chapters and the Crystal series, I'm assuming it's mostly just to update how things are. You see the girls in their school uniforms a lot in the manga, but in the Sailor Moon Crystal series, they more or less wear regular just everyday clothing. Sailor Mars, or Ray, is definitely the biggest offender, we'll say, of it. Like when they're standing in the park, and they're gonna fly to the moon. If you look, she is in her Shrine Maiden uniform, but in Sailor Moon Crystal, she's not. She's just wearing regular clothes like the others are. And the other thing that I found interesting about that particular scene, too, was in the original anime series, they would totally use that moment to just use stock footage of the transformation sequence. So you'd see Moon, Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, and Venus transforming, whether it be singly or all together in a montage or all on different parts of the screen or whatever. In this one, it was instantaneous, pretty much. So probably just because they wanted to pack a lot more into the episode, which was nice to see. Otherwise, it was pretty much word for word in a lot of ways. They did cut certain things short, like basically, boom, they're immediately into the night that they're going to go onto the moon. So they skipped the whole part about Rei and Minako staying over at Makoto's house. I don't know why Ami wasn't going to be with them, but anyway. Then they get to the moon and they talk to Queen Serenity, but beforehand they pull the sword out of the stone. Now, that one was completely glazed over in the original anime series, pretty much. There wasn't much talk of a sword at all, if memory serves completely. But in Sailor Moon Another Story, you do get that, of course. And also, they talk about Venus's arc. Not like story arc, I mean actual, like, Noah's Ark, but it flies. So I would love to see that in Sailor Moon Crystal. I don't know if it's going to happen. But we've only got like 4 episodes left. If I mean, following the actual chapters and stuff. I think it's 4 episodes. 3 or 4. And then, as was officially confirmed on Anime News Network, although it was officially confirmed from the start, Sailor Moon Crystal is going to continue on into the Black Moon family saga. We probably will not see Al and Al, whatever they call them, and Anne, because that was just filler in the original series, catching up to the manga, which is kind of sad because a lot of people really enjoyed that. But it should delve right into the Black Moon series. I don't know if the Ayakashi sisters are going to be really featured much. If they're kind of following like the musical thing, they might not be in it at all. I think they will be, though. They have kind of smaller points than Esmeralda and Rubius and Sephiru and Demand and Wise Man and all that stuff in Black Lady, so they'll probably focus more on that, or they'll just follow what the manga does, I would imagine. Unless this is the start of the big deviations and stuff, I don't know. We're going to have to wait and see. From the previews of the next episode, it doesn't really tell you too much, and I mean, it ended kind of quickly, I think. To me, it just felt really, really quick today. Queen Beryl revives Tuxedo Command, or Mamoru Endymion, whatever you want to call him at this point, and she just says, go and kill the princess, and go to the earth, and get me the silver crystal, and then he's suddenly, boom, right in the streets of Tokyo, looking at Crown Arcade. So, we know what's going to happen. This is the homoerotic episode that a lot of people were waiting for, a lot of yaoi-ish fans, where Mamoru gets, and I don't know if they're going to continue it, I think they are, they're alluding to it, excuse me, where he's going to use his mind powers to take over Motoki's mind and be like, hey, I'm your buddy Endo. And there's a lot of the touchy-feely kind of bro stuff, I guess we'll call it. Anyway, we'll see how that goes over. But one of the best sequences, I think, was when Sailor Moon blew up into the sky, went way out into space, and just used moon healing escalation, and just boom, the whole Earth was fixed. Pretty much, which just goes to show her power. Again, looking at the theme song, it's so ironic in so many ways. That one word or line, we won't rely on men's help. So what happens? Mercury, Mars, Jupiter, and Venus remember their past, and all of a sudden, boom, they just stop what they're doing, and they let the Shittennou attack them. They just let them attack them. Why? It must have been to really showcase the whole show or thing of Sailor Moon flying up there and using her power and stuff. That's the only reason I can think of it, other than maybe they're just showcasing, okay, these girls don't want to fight the Shittennou because of that love. But then all of a sudden they get the resolve to do it, the Sailor Planet attack, which is completely different than it was in the original series. The Sailor Planet attack would have destroyed them, or at least sent a huge wave of power towards them, which it did, but it was meant to help their memories. So it makes you think that they do have a lot more control over what their powers actually can do, whether they mean for them to be destructive or whether they mean for them to have some kind of helping thing. At least that's how it feels to me. What do you guys think about that? I don't know. Anyway, I love how Sailor Venus is the one that pulls it out, just like she does in the manga here. In the Sailor Moon Crystal episode, they lead you up to believe that Mercury, Mars, and Jupiter loosened it enough for her, whereas in this one, Jupiter tries by herself, and... oh no, I guess that's not true, because if you look at it here... you could see Mercury and Mars in the background, and they're kind of like going like this, like they tried each singly and their hands are hurting. So, and then Jupiter tries, and then Venus tries, and so, but Venus being the leader of the Senshi, I think that they're trying to showcase that part of it as well. Queen Serenity, her voice was really odd. I know that sounds weird, but it was a little bit odd to me. But it worked. It was very sad. I mean, it was poignant is probably the best way to put it, as it was meant to be. And I think that worked really well for it. You get that emotion, of course, coming through. And you get to see Usagi's father, Kenji. Although again, just like in the manga, they refer to them as Mama and Papa sort of thing rather than actual names. But of course, Ikuko is her mother, Kenji is her father, and Shingo is her brother. I love that Luna was in Ikuko's lap. That was cute. And so on. Yeah, Artemis wasn't really featured too much in it. As much. And I always laugh when they show the little units that Luna and Artemis were stored in their stasis as they were sent to the Earth from the moon. I just love that there was that technology back then. And the best part was the moon main system, how it keeps Serenity's essence and her will in there in a computer system on the moon that links up to the Earth. I love that. I think that's fantastic. It is so Star Trek-y, and that's definitely where the Star Trek and Sentai, like Go Ranger influence is in there. Of course, Sailor Moon is loosely based on kind of a combination of Star Trek The Next Generation and Gal Ranger, which was a big part in Naoko's life. And so that's where she drew a lot of the inspiration for the series from. So it was a great episode overall. I love the fact that Jadeite, Nephrite, Zoisite, and Kunzite were in it, and that it delved into their backstory. I'd excuse me, love to see more of that as well as we continue on. And I would hope that they're going to join in the fight against Queen Beryl. I'd imagine that the ending is going to be kind of a combination of what happened in the live-action series as well as the manga, or maybe even with the musical, kind of a combination of everything. Obviously, it's going to be continuing into the Black Moon family arc, unlike the live-action series, which just ended with the end of Queen Beryl, or the Black Moon, or not Black Moon, the Dark Kingdom, so everybody was reborn, got their memories back, blah, 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 spoiler. Anyway, so I thought it was really good, and I can't wait to see what they do with the next episodes. Okay, very quick, because I can only post up to 15-minute videos right now, which is really dumb, thanks to YouTube. But I saw the clips for Sailor Jupiter's voice actress Amanda Miller, and Sailor Venus's English voice actress Jeremy Lee. Lee, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. In Canada, we would say Leigh, L-E-I-G-H, but maybe it's Lee. I've heard different things. Anyway, she's the voice of Lucy from Fairy Tail, among others. I love Jupiter. She sounds almost exactly like Susan Roman's Jupiter from the Deke and Cloverway dub, so I'm really glad about that. I can't imagine anybody else that could really voice her properly. Jeremy is going to take a long time to get used to. I personally don't think that she's right yet, but I've only seen the one clip for it. My favorite Venus will always be Stephanie Morgenstern, the original one. She doesn't sound like her very much. She kind of sounds a little bit like her, mixed with Emily Barlow, who took over. Emily Barlow was Sailor Mars for some episodes in Sailor Moon R, and then she became Venus in S and Super S during the Cloverway dubs. So it was interesting with that little bit of trivia for you guys out there. So haven't heard Artemis yet. You kind of heard him grunt a little bit when he got pushed out of the way in the episode. Oh, and I love this comment because I think it's so true. The Poopery commercials, the lady that has the British accent, but she's actually, I think, from Scotland or Ireland. Anyway, I think she was the voice of the demon in the Princess School episode. It sounds almost exactly like her, and I'd love it if somebody would look into that and find out, because she's perfect for it. I thought that was great. That was beautiful. So, wonderful, well done. I love those commercials. They're great. Alright, check out my radio show, which is going to be every Sunday from 2 to 4 p.m. Pacific Time on 92.5 The X, 92.5 FM in Kamloops, or www.thex.ca online. Like I said, every Sunday. I'm going to be heading to Vancouver Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, taking care of some stuff for AR and other things, and I'm going to see if I can find some Sailor Moon stuff, of course. Why not? Maybe a new shirt. That's where I got this one last time. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on the episode and stuff, because I love hearing from you guys, and I'm so glad that it was actually an hour earlier than usual, because Japan doesn't do the time change like we do, so we actually get it an hour earlier, which is great. I don't have to stay up till 3 a.m. or 4 a.m., especially on days like tomorrow where I open at 8 o'clock. Or, no, I open at 10, but I have to be up at 8:30. Yeah, my mind's all aflutter. Alright, thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you next time. Don't forget the next episode's in December. There's 2 weeks because it's the first and third Saturday. This is the third Saturday. There's going to be 2 more and then it'll be the first Saturday of December. That's the next episode, which sucks. But anyway, Jamat Mina, have a great day. Bye-bye.